In an era where budget cuts are the norm for school districts, a high school in western Wisconsin got quite the surprise. A former student who didn't forget those formative high school years some 78 years ago donated her estate to her former school. Alicia Lewis shares the story from her alma mater.
Going over the river and through the woods, you end up here, the small village of Osceola, Wisconsin.
I just love this community. It does have that small town vibe, but it's just so warm and welcoming.
Go to the gas station, everyone's very friendly. The grocery store, they're really friendly. Come here, they're really friendly.
And at the center of this tight-knit community, Osceola High School, a place where students have had some of their fondest, formative coming-of-age years in their lives.
The beauty of high school is no matter what's happening in the world, it can be a really great place for kids to grow and blossom.
Osceola Superintendent Rebecca Stiles has seen many students walk these halls and leave a lasting impact. But nothing quite like Millicent Lindahl from the graduating class of 1947. And although she never knew this former grad, she does now. Over this past summer, Superintendent Stiles got a surprising email about Millie, who passed away in 2021, and wanted to leave her high school some money. The amount, shocking.
It was like that seems unbelievable.
Millie left the high school $1.8 million with more to come.
We were absolutely dumbfounded by the amount that it was. So we were like, hey, who is this person?
In a town where seemingly everyone knows everyone, Millie Lindahl, who later became Millie Chapman, was an unknown, at least until now.
We enacted the Historical Society because you don't have a lot. You have yearbooks. That's pretty much what we have as far as history of school. She tagged Osceola High School because it was a place that brought her great happiness.
Based on the yearbooks, Millie was an active student in drama club, part of the yearbook committee, school newspaper, and a cheerleader.
This doesn't happen to public schools very often where someone's like, hey, here we have this for you.
But for Millie, she felt it was home.
I think it was a place where she found herself, where she could be who she wanted to be. It was one of the happiest times of her life. And that's what she held on to.
Just an amazing story there. Well, hey, if you see your kid's bus driver today, remember it's School Bus Driver Appreciation Day in Minnesota. The Onamia School District, though, honored their own hero driver a little early. At last night's school board meeting, they recognized Brian Lathrop, whose split-second decision saved students from a head-on collision with a semi-truck. This is video of those moments from earlier this month. The semi ended up just sideswiping the bus in Mille Lacs County. Now, they say they couldn't thank him enough for keeping the students safe. 2 were treated for minor injuries. A homecoming nearly 50 years in the making. Native American activist Leonard Peltier returned home to Belcourt, North Dakota after spending a majority of his life in prison. President Biden commuted his life sentence hours before leaving office. Heidi Wigdahl picks it up from there.
On Tuesday morning, Leonard Peltier left a Florida prison and boarded a plane home to North Dakota with supporters waving him goodbye. These are some of the first photos since Leonard's release from the American Indian movement. And here he is talking after his release.
We're going to continue until we are a free nation. I gave 50 years for that, and I'm going to give the rest of my life.
The 80-year-old, a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians in North Dakota, spent nearly 50 years imprisoned. During his last hours in office, President Joe Biden commuted Peltier's life sentence, allowing him to spend his remaining days in home confinement.
I'm feeling just, overwhelmed. I'm thankful and happy that he's finally been released.
Chauncey Peltier was just 10 years old when his father went to prison.
If I wanted to see him, I would have to go to the prison to visit him. So just to see him a free man is just going to be overwhelming with joy.
Leonard was convicted in the 1975 killings of FBI agents Jack Kohler and Ronald Williams at the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. Peltier claims he fired his gun from a distance, but said it was in self-defense and that his shots were not the ones that killed the agents. Prosecutors said he shot the agents at point-blank range. What followed has been decades of lobbying and protests by those who believe he was wrongfully convicted, calling him a political prisoner. But his commutation received pushback from then FBI Director Christopher Wray, who urged Biden against it.
It's a miscarriage of justice.
Retired FBI agent Nicholas O'Hara was in charge of the FBI for Minnesota and the Dakotas in the early 90s and at D.C. headquarters at the time of the murders.
No acknowledgement of his violent behavior, no acknowledgement of the killings, no reason to ever commute his sentence. But it's done. It's a done deal.
While O'Hara is urging people to research the case, Chauncey is saying the same, both believing the facts support their side.
To the people that don't believe he should be released, I'd ask them to educate themselves on Leonard's case and not just hear the FBI side of the story.
Peltier was denied parole as recently as July.
I just wanted to thank President Biden for finally releasing my father and doing the right thing. Even some of my hardcore Republican friends are saying they're thankful that Joe did this.
Well, stick with us. More news and weather's coming up after the break.